Prayer, reflection, and well wishes echoing across the Vatican's St. Peter's Square Saturday morning as more than 250,000 people gathered to honor the life and legacy of Pope Francis. The funeral began with an elaborate set of rituals led by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, who honored the Pope's ability to lead with an open heart towards everyone.
Oremus.
Let us pray.
Deus,
O God, immortal shepherd of souls, look on your people's prayers and grant that your servant Pope Francis, who presided over your church in charity, may, with the flock entrusted to his care, receive from your mercy the reward of a faithful steward.
The pontiff's casket lying in the middle of the square, surrounded by members of the clergy, delegates from more than 130 nations, and thousands of Catholic and Christian pilgrims. Worshippers remembering the 88-year-old as a leader who spent his life pushing for a more compassionate, inclusive church, labeling him the People's Pope.
He was always ready to give a voice to the voiceless.
It was a very special person, the way he wanted to treat the people, and it's not really necessary to be religious to appreciate this.
We try to follow his example of humility and mercy every day, and his passion for those who are the most vulnerable. That was his gospel and what sums up his papacy.
The sermon was one marked by global unity, as world leaders from every corner of the globe were in attendance. Current and former U.S. Presidents Donald Trump and Joe Biden turning out to pay their respects, along with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, President of the EU Commission Ursula von der Leyen, and Prince William as a representative of the royal family. After the nearly 2-hour-long sermon, the Pope's simple wooden coffin was placed in the Pope-mobile and driven through the streets of Rome towards his final resting place. It is tradition that popes are laid to rest inside the Vatican. However, prior to his death, Francis requested to be entombed at Rome's Basilica di Santa Maria Maggiore, making him the first pontiff to stray from a Vatican burial since 1903. Breaking from tradition was somewhat of a theme for His Holiness. He was the first Jesuit pope, the first South American pope, the first pontiff to visit Iraq, the first to endorse same-sex civil unions, and the first to apologize to Canada's Indigenous population for the abuse they faced in residential schools at the hands of the Catholic Church. Now, the attention in the coming weeks is going to shift to a single chimney at the Sistine Chapel. That is where the world is going to wait to see a puff of white smoke, which is an ancient signal to alert that a new pope has been chosen. Within the next 15 to 20 days or so, the official conclave will begin, a centuries-old tradition in which cardinals under the age of 80 are locked inside the chapel and casting ballots in total secrecy until one receives a 2/3 majority vote. Over centuries, it's taken hours, days, weeks, and even years for a new pope to be chosen. Pope Francis was appointed in just a little over a day. For City News, I'm Karling Donoghue.